Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I welcome you all in my class. So today we are going to continue with our lesson, that is I Have a Dream, from Unit 2.2, and the lesson is 2.1. My dear students, if you have your books with you, kindly open the page number 41. Reading selection 2.1, I Have a Dream by King Martin Luther Jr. Before we are going to proceed for the lesson, let's recap that what we have done in the previous lesson. In the previous lesson, we come to know that, in the previous lecture, we came to know that Martin Luther King Jr., he just gathers a crowd of 100,000 people, and there he just gave a historical speech. He just remind them that after 100 years they are again standing in the same position. He remembers the address of Abraham Lincoln. He just rather gives reference to that address as at Gettysburg by Abraham Lincoln in 1865. And then he continues that after 100 years, even then we are in the same situation. So he continues with that thing that we are left helpless in the ocean of troubles, in the ocean of poverty. Right? So the first half of the speech paints not only an idealized American dream, but a picture of seething American nightmare of racial justice. So this is not that what they are to be. The speech is what they are to be, what they should be in this state. American Negroes को किस situation में होना चाहिए थे, but they are not in that state. So they are talking about the cruelty and the oppression and the violence they are facing as they're being deprived of their many rights. On the other hand, the second half of the speech paints the theme of the better, fairer future of racial harmony and integration. We are on the first half of the speech, my dear students. The king has used figurative language to pay emphasis, and he has repeated the phrase "I have a dream" constantly to give inspirational concepts. Okay, so you must keep this thing in your mind that speech is not a simple a piece of oratory skills, but it is an excellent written expression as well. So the examiner would not be even, he is not only going to be interested that what you know about the facts, but also he will say you to trace out some figurative language or the literary terms used in the speech. As in my previous lesson, I have discussed this thing in very detail, where the King Jr. has used metaphor, simile, or symbolism. Okay, so let's start. So you have to keep it in your mind and you have to write down all the important things as well. So after just giving a background history, what they are doing here at the place where Abraham Lincoln has delivered a speech in 1865, a monumental act, and on August 18, 1963, Junior also led a march on Washington DC. Right? So why they are there? He just emphasizes. In a sense, we have come to our nation's capital to cash a check. So he just make everyone. He just draws everyone's attention that we have come here to draw a check. So what is that thing? So he has come to nation's capital, that is Washington DC, to cash a check. A check is being used as a metaphor. Right? What is that check? Rather, the check of equality, the check of liberty, the check of justice. Okay, so here he has used the word to cash a check. Please remind it as a metaphor, as he uses at a metaphorical way that the black are asking for their demanding for their rights. Who gave them that check? Let's find out. When the architects, that is their forefathers of our republic, wrote the magnificent, that great words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall here. So he says that I got that check in the form of that Constitution, in the form of that promissory note, in the form of those all promises that had been made by our forefathers, rather hundreds of the years back. It had been declared by President Abraham Lincoln in a monumental act where he just made all the Negro slaves free. He just signed a treaty. He just declared the freedom of all those, and he just declared and announced and promised for the equal rights of all. So he says that we have got that check, our born right, and that right or the check is being given by our forefathers, by our constitution, and we are just having that legacy. We are the legal, we have got that legal authority to claim that check. This note was a promise that all men, black men, as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuits of happiness. So he says that we have been given that guarantee. What was that promissory note? Yes, the promise was that all men, black or the white, they would be guaranteed the equal rights for the pursuit of happiness and liberty. So, what are those equal rights? So, what is that promissory note? Promissory note means that it is a written document having the nature of a promise. On the other hand, and how they are going to be unalienable rights, that it couldn't be transferred to another. Okay, not transferable. So it means देखें जैसे कोई अपनी will लिखता है, if someone just writes a will, so the other who are in their name and the name of anyone who is written in that will, that I just it is my I just write in my will that this and that thing will be possessed by ABC person after my death. So he just gets that lawful right to possess that property after the death of that particular person. So in the same way, he says that we just carry that legacy, that we are given the right and the freedom and the liberty for the pursuit of happiness, to live our life in happiness, and no one can just deprive us of from that right. Okay, so we are there to cash that check. Are you getting? Mean their constitution, it has promised them the liberty, better life, and the pursuit of happiness. But on the other hand, what is the situation? The situation is very much contrary if we just see. So liberty, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, that is their right. It is in fact, it is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's a reference to the Declaration of Independence. ठीक है? These are the meanings of different things. So he says, he goes on, it is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note. He says that it is very much obvious that America has failed to keep that promise insofar as her citizens of the color are concerned. So he again draws the attention of the people. He says that as far as the implementation of the law or the enforcement of the law is concerned, as far as our claim for that legal right to be equally known in America is concerned, it seems It is clear that we have been deprived and America has been failed to fulfill that promissory note because they had been treated on the basis of their colors. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check. Please underline this thing. So, Negro people, again metaphorically used, mean their rights has been, they had not been given their rights. It's like that they are being deprived of. It's a bad check. A check which has come back marked insufficient funds. Insufficient funds mean there is nothing that the thing we are asking for the banking, or the thing we are asking to go, that is we are asking from the bank, we do not have sufficient funds. Okay, my dear students, we just, whenever we just do visit banks with our checks, we do write some certain amount in the check. If you have 50,000 or something like amount in your account, so you would write 48 or 49. But if you have 50,000 and you write it into 70, it means that it is not going to be, never ever going to be cashed or accepted by the bank. It would be defaulted, it would be failed, and it would be a bad check. So he says that we had been given the promise that we would be treated equally, but, and it was a check for us, our constitution was a check for us, but when we ask for that thing, when we just claim our rights, it seems to be that we are having the bad check because we are not given that sufficient things that we demand for. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. Please underline this thing, that although there are insufficient funds, although there are the less opportunities for us, let me tell you that in that situation it was very much clear. In those days, the black people were looked on upon looked down upon, and they were sensed as inferior. They were not given the equal rights, they were not given the good opportunities, even in the jobs as well. They were not given good jobs as well. And as far as they were considered more of the slaves, and as far as their participation in all any of the military act was concerned, they were not encouraged to be the part of a military or any of the force. So he says, but King Jr. just had his faith in America, and he says that I believe that our bank of justice is not bankrupt. Okay, it is not. It is not like that. It is having nothing. Bankrupt हो जाना, किसी चीज का दिवालिया हो जाना, it doesn't mean that we are not having any moral values. It doesn't mean that we are not having any laws. It doesn't mean that we are not having any constitution. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation. So he says that I do not believe, and I'll not believe that in these all situation there are the less opportunities for us. In this vast ocean, there is less opportunity for us to get. So he says, he compares, in fact, the opportunities to a bank with walls. So, what he wants to say, what he wants to deliver, that I have my belief in the people, I have my belief in those all who are working for the completion of, for the implementation of laws. And I will not believe that we are having the insufficient funds. It means that we are just following any blind blind law, but we are just following some constitution that gives us the opportunity to be happy in this nation. So we have come to cash this check, the check of opportunities, the check of equal rights, the check to be prosperous, a check that will give us upon the riches of freedom. So what does we talk about what is this check. This check is not will not be used as for to withdraw any amount, any it is not, he is not talking about any cash, any materialistic gain, but he is talking about his rights. Constitution or the laws are in fact that is will be written on the that check. ठीक है, हम चेक किससे डील करते हैं? we do deal with all our matters of cash and the money related with the checks. लेकिन यहाँ पे चेक किस चीज का है? चेक है फॉर द राइट, चेक है फॉर द लॉ, इक्वल लॉ फॉर ऑल. और बैंक क्या है? दैट इज रादर अमेरिका. और उसमें लिखे जाने वाली चीजें क्या हैं? दैट इज उस अकाउंट कौन सा है? जस्टिस का. A check that will give us upon demands the riches of freedom, underline करें से, and the security of justice, again riches of freedom, freedom to speak, freedom to flourish, freedom to be the an independent part of the nation. Freedom doesn't mean that we are free and we are just free because we are being labeled as free. Freedom means that when we can exercise all our born rights in a better way. And the security of justice, that all things all opportunities will be given properly to everyone. We have also come to this holy spot to remind America of the fairest urgency of no, this is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. So he says that this is not the time to engage in any luxury, that we are not going to just be busy in any luxury, in any of that. It is not the time that someone is going to give us that soothing effect, to give us some sort of, we are not asking for any luxurious life or cooling off or to take a tranquilizer drug of gradualism. It's not the time that we are asking for any luxury life. It's not the time that you would promise us that the things would be better with the passage of the time. Gradualism. Tranquilizing means that we would be sleeping in a peace, we would be having a peaceful sleep. ठीक है, तो ये क्या कह रहे हैं कि this is not the time कि जहाँ पे आप हमें कोई tranquilizer दे दें. Tranquilizer means that where we are going to sleep in a very you can say in a calm way by taking the tranquilizer, or we will be waiting for the slow progress. No, it's the time to make real the promise of democracy. Again, underline this thing. Make all those promises come true into true picture. The promises of democracy, of the equal rights, of the equal opportunities, of the freedom. No, it's the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. So what is this time? Please be mindful that again and again when someone just uses the repeated phrases that is used as anaphora, mean he is just referring back towards the sentences. Now is the time, no is the time, no is the time. It is the anaphora that he is using, that literary term, to number one, to make the thing emphasize, to give his idea more, you can say, emphasize. So what is this time? Please note it down. This is the time to make real the promises of democracy. जो कुछ promises किए गए in that Independence Act, it is the time that we should enjoy all those rights. It's the time rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation. And he says that this is the time that we should rise from that deserted, barren, desolate, barren valley of segregation, of isolation, to the sunlit path of racial justice. Sunlit means that is again metaphorically used, that it is the time when we will shine into the daylight by not holding, by not just coming, by not separating ourselves, isolating ourselves on the basis of our color, but we should go on the sunlit path. We should be given the justice, a just place, No, this is to open the doors of opportunity to all the God's children. No, this is the time to open the doors of opportunity for all the people, as they believe, as Christians believe that the humanity or the humans, they are the God's of children. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. So, what is this time? This is the time when we have to rise our nation from that wet sand that is going to engulf it, that is going to take hold of it, and we have to come to the solid rock of our brotherhood. Again, he just gives the name of brotherhood a solid rock. Underline it again. So my dear student, the reference or the page has been shared, or the link has been shared with you. While reading your text, you must write down again all those literary terms and figurative speech that has been used in the lesson. Okay, so what is this paragraph about? That he says that we are here to just cash our check. And what is that check? That we are on the holy place. The check that would be the guarantee to give them their equal rights to enjoy the democracy. And by that, by gaining all those things, they will be following the path, they will be on the path that would be lightened by the bright light, where they wouldn't be deal under the darkness of, you can say, biased opinion based on the color of skin. So this is the time to come out of that meshy land, to come out of that uh, loose wet sand, होती है ना मट्टी सी, that engulfs the people, that sucks anything to top of it. ठीक है, तो उसमें खड़े होने के बजाय क्या है, it is the time to come and place on the solid rock of brotherhood. He is talking about all the people that are living in America, either they are black or white. It would be fatal. No, he make people alert. He alarms them. He just makes, he has talked about, but they have suffered. No, it's the time. It would be very dangerous for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment and to underestimate the determination of Negro. He says that it would be very bad for the people if they are going to underestimate. They are not going to understand what they are asking for, what the Negroes are asking for. This sweltering summer, again, please, sweltering summer, scorching sun of the Negro legitimate discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn. Invigorating mean then, till the time then there is a vital or a thing fresh, until the freshness come. So he compares the sufferings of Negroes as we just suffer in a scorching, under the scorching sun. जैसे कि आपको if as it is in your knowledge, as you do just feel आजकल it's too hot. No, it's sweltering summer. Okay, so we do suffer, we just feel many things. ठीक है, it's not easy to just walk in this weather. So it's a sweltering summer under that scorching sun or some like that thing like that. So he says it is not easy. This sweltering summer, this scorching sun, the heat of injustice that is burning the Negroes legitimate discontent will not pass until there is an invigorating autumn. So he says until this seasons is going to finish, season is going to come to an end, that summer, until we do not face that morning that is going to bring the vitality and vigor, their struggle for their rights, for the Negro right, is not going to finish. 1963 is not an end. Again, he reminds all the people that it's not end. The things are not going to finish, but a beginning for another struggle. Those who have hope, those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam means they are going to just वेंट देयर इमोशंस, ब्लो ऑफ स्टीम, ठीक है, क्या सिर्फ अपनी भड़ास निकाल लेंगे अपने इमोशंस की, and will now be content, will have a rude awakening if the nation returns to business as usual. And if they are going to just express their views, negroes are going to express their views, they are going to just have their some vent their emotions, and later on by just venting out all their emotions they will be satisfied and they are going to go away. No, it's a awakening call for all of you. That is not going to happen. So he says that it would be a rude awakening until we just get what we want. It is not the matter of one day that we are going to just deliver some words and you are going to listen and then we are going to go back to our usual business. No, it's a awakening call for all the people. There will be neither rest nor tranquility, not there will be peace, not there will be progress in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship right. Citizenship right mean all those right that has been granted, that has been written in that Independence Act. The whirlwind, the strong whirlwinds of revolt. Again, he compared his revolt, his call for change with the whirlwind, with the speedier that is whirling around. So that revolt is like a whirlwind, will continue to shake the foundation of our nation until the bright day of justice emerge. So he says this is not the matter of one day that we are going to vent out our emotions, we are going to express our emotions, and then we will be just doing our usual business. No, it's the start. On the other hand, until we are given the equal rights, this wind be blowing in a speed around the nation until we get what do we want, our citizenship rights. But there's something that I must say to my people. But again, he comes to in a very positive tone. Who stand on the warm threshold. What is that threshold? वो कौन सी दहलीज है which leads into the palace of justice? That they are near to the palace of justice. They are on the doorstep of that palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. In that process, we shouldn't be accused, we shouldn't be following the path of violence. So as I started earlier, that he just discouraged all those things that deal with the matter of violence, and he made people to be non-violent, and he just had hopes, aspirations, and on the other hand he wanted them to be positive, right? So he says that we shouldn't be guilty of wrongful deeds. He wanted his dream to be fulfilled, dream of equality, dream of freedom from a land of slavery and hatred. But he doesn't want his people to go on the path of violence. So he's making people to fight for their rights. This is not a war, this is not a battle, this is not a clash, but they are fighting for their rights not to the persons but to a system. So this civil rights movement was addressing the system that has not given them any secure place. So here Dr. King appears to be a person having the ability, a capacity to transform those step of Abraham Lincoln Memorial into a monumental area. He inspired, informed, and educated the people of America and the coming generation. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred, Again, the cup of bitterness and hatred. What is that? We shouldn't go into that way. That our thirst for freedom shouldn't be, its taste shouldn't be sought, its taste shouldn't be bittered by all those negative response or all those responses based on violence. No, we must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We should continue our fight for our freedom, our fight for our rights, not to the individual, but it's with the system. And we have to just struggle it on the plane of dignity and discipline. We have to be very decent and on the other hand disciplined. It doesn't mean that we are going to choose the way of violence, but we will demand, we'll ask what is our born right. We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into a physical violence. So again, he just make people, all the people there, that be mindful that it shouldn't change into any of the physical violence. Okay, it shouldn't finish, it shouldn't be categorized as a physical violence, that we're demanding for our right, but it doesn't mean that we are going to follow the path of violence again and again. We must rise to the majestic height of meeting physical force with soul force. So as he was one of the as he was very influential person, he has played his role as a true Christian as well. He was a Baptist, in fact. So, so he says that it is not that we are demanding something that for our materialistic needs. No, we are demanding something that deals or that is connected with our souls as well. So when we talk about something that is spiritual, it is not based on violence, it is not based on injustice, it is not based on cruelty. It will bring peace and happiness to all the people. In the same way, he says that we should emerge the needs of our physique with the, we should emerge, we should just get in coordination with our soul as well, so that we might get mighty, might get strong, dignified and disciplined. We shouldn't be controlled, we shouldn't be using our physical violence, but we should be mindful for all those things. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to the distrust of all white people. So again, he just alarms others that that as this new militancy, this new system that is making our, us, the Negroes, deprive of our right, but it shouldn't, we shouldn't go that way that we are going to be distrusted by all white people, right? So what he's saying, अभी जो सिस्टम में चेंजेस आए हैं and all those militancy, all those cruelty, all those physical violence which has engulfed, which has covered, which has taken into its custody the Negro community, it shouldn't lead, it must not be, it must not lead us towards that path where we would be distrusted by our white people. For many of our white brothers, and as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny and their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. So why he is saying that although we are being forced, we are being thrashed by these physical violence under that new militancy, but we shouldn't do something like that, that we are not going to be deprived of the trust by the white people, by our brothers. So he says, because our freedom and our destiny, we are interconnected. The white and the black, they are interconnected. We cannot walk alone. Who? The Negroes. Who? The white people. Who cannot stand alone? Who cannot walk alone? The Americans. So, as he has preached, as he has given the message of brotherhood in his earlier paragraph, so he says that in order to get the prosperity and the progress and the confidence and the trust, we should go follow the path of brotherhood. We should be standing on the solid rock of brotherhood. As we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. So as we walk for our right. So what we are going to do when we are going to walk, so we have to make that pledge. We have to make that promises to ourselves. What is that promise? That we cannot turn back. We are not going to come back. Cannot turn back. We have to follow the path with our all brothers. There are those who are asking the devotee of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? So he just gives a very good title to all those people. He used in a, we can say, in an ironical way as well, the devotees of civil right. Who are the devotees of civil right? Rather, those are the people, those are making the, those are planning the rules or the law. तो ये कहते हैं कि बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं जो डिवोटेज समझते हैं आपको सिविल राइट्स के. They think that they are the legal authority to talk about the civil rights. ठीक है, वो क्या पूछते हैं, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horror of police brutality. So he in an ironical tone, he says that the people who just think that they are the devotees of civil rights, वो लोगों के हकूक के क्या हैं, रादर उनके अलमबरदार हैं, वो ये पूछते हैं कि आप कब सेटिस्फाई होंगे. तो वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू सेटिस्फाई until we are being thrashed by police, or we are being terrified by the horrors of police brutality, their cruelty, their violence. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies heavy with the fatigue of travel. Bodies, here he is choosing the bodies as based on the color, right? Bodies black color cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highway and the hotels of the city. So he says that we are not going to satisfy until we are given the place to lodge, to get settled for some time on the motels. Motels कौन से होते हैं? On the highway that are just giving as a they are just like a rest place for the travelers. और होटल कौन से हैं? आप होटल में भी as your liking, you may take rest or you may want to enjoy some time. So he says until we are given the opportunity to go to the places, we are not satisfied on every place. ठीक है, either it's in the city, either it's on the highway, we are not going to satisfy. We cannot be satisfied. So this paragraph is related. Again he is using we can never be satisfied, we can never be satisfied, we can never be satisfied, emphasizing his idea that he is not going to take rest, he is not going to stop all his struggle until the Negro basic mobility is free. Sorry, we cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. So he says until we're not going to move from one place to another. Ghetto, that is a densely populated slum area. The slum area that is deprived of economical and social, you can say, better position. So he says until we we will not be moved from that some slum area to a better place. So he just makes different conditions. He just sets different examples that you ask us that when we are going to stop. What do we want? So we want all these things. We want all those rights. Previously, he has talked about the rights, brotherhood, prosperity. No, he's telling that, and he's making the people to note it down, to listen it, to be mindful that they are going to not, they're not going to stop until they just find their rightful place, their claim in the country, as it is the claim of everyone else, especially the white ones. We can never be satisfied as long as a Negro in the Mississippi cannot vote, and a Negro in New York believes that he has nothing for which to vote. No, no, we are not satisfied and will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like water and rightness like mighty stream. Excellent. This is no doubt an excellent piece of speech. This is inspirational one as well. So he inspires, as I have told you people, that just he just worked as a magician who proved his ability and capacity. Where he is standing at that historical place where hundred of the years back a claim was given, a claim was written. ठीक है, अब 100 साल बाद वो इब्राहिम लिंकन के जो मेमोरियल है उसको वो एक मोनुमेंटल एरिया बना रहे हैं, यादगार जगह बना रहे हैं. एंड ही इंस्पायर्ड पीपल, he informed people, he educated people. No, he is inspiring them. We cannot satisfy until we are given the right to vote. He has chosen, and he will be choosing those places to describe that location that is filled with that are being dealt in a way based on the race and color. ठीक है, तो मिसिसिपी that is far away in America, and it was not a very progressed area. तो उन्होंने कहा है कि हम satisfied तब तक नहीं होंगे. कब तक नहीं होंगे? जब तक एक नीग्रो जो मिसिसिपी में है, he is not going to be given the right to cast the vote. And on the other hand, a negro in New York, until he thinks that his vote is not going to make any difference. Why do we cast a vote? That we are a citizen and every of the vote is going to be significant. So he says, on the other hand, vote is like an opinion. राइट, तो उसके उनके कहने का मतलब है कि हमारी ओपिनियन, हमारी पार्टिसिपेशन उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंट हो जितनी बाकी लोगों की है. सो ही वाज दैट पर्सन आल्सो हु जस्ट claimed, who just rose his voice for the right of the vote for the ब्लैक पीपल एज वेल. तो आप खुद सोच लें कि आपको वोट के राइट से तब डिप्राइव किया जाता है व्हेन you are not thought or considered to be eligible to have a mental capacity of that level where you can decide for the betterment of the country. ऐसा ही है ना, right? So he says that we should be given that right, where our opinion and our decisions are going to matter, where our opinion and the decisions are going to matter to the destiny of the country as well. No, no, we are not satisfied. He just declares in a very clear tone, and will not be satisfied until justice rolls down. Very beautiful example. He just used the simile. Justice will roll down like waters, and rightness like a mighty stream. And that rightness that is virtuous way. It is like to run like a mighty, a strong stream. So they are not going to satisfy until the justice will roll down like waters. Roll down water mean will be in abundance, and righteousness that is like a mighty stream, a strong one, where people can just quench their thirst for freedom. So he declares in a very clear tone in these paragraphs. So that was all it was a lengthy it is a lengthy topic, and it is repleted with many of the historical allusions. On the other hand, it is repleted with the figurative terms as well, speech as well, and the tone is quite different in different paragraphs. So you please remember and keep in mind all those points. Please write down on your books. This we will be continuing with the rest of the lesson tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. So a very clear word: the foundation of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character is the goal of true education. That was a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. I wish you best of luck, and we should think intensively and critically. So be intelligent based on your character. Wish you best of luck. Take good care of you. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.